Well, welcome everybody. I'm very glad to be here today. I'm your guest host, Peter DeRosa, here on Debtcloud Media. And I want to thank our partners at My Debtcloud and especially thank our special guest today, Mike Maloney. Michael, thank you very much for joining us today.
You're welcome, Peter.
I understand that you're a retirement planning specialist and you have 30 plus decades of working with clients all across the country. That's incredible.
Thank you.
As we begin our conversation today, I just want to understand with the current economic situation that we see going on, all the uncertainty and volatility that's going on, how are you helping people on a practical level today in your practice?
For those that are still on their way to retirement, one of the issues that we're addressing that's really moving the financial needle for our clients is we're helping them accomplish a goal that I believe most Americans have by the time they enter retirement. And that goal is to be completely debt-free, including the option for no mortgage. We're addressing this issue with a payoff process. And I did say payoff process. I did not use the words consolidation or debt refinancing like so many people are used to. Our clients are using a debt payoff process that was designed to have people completely debt-free, including their mortgage debt, 2 to 3 times faster than they are on track for. And what's spectacular about our planning is it provides more benefits for their financial future in retirement over what they're doing right now.
Well, that sounds really interesting. So how did you get involved in this field? Right, that you did with the debt stuff. How'd you get involved?
Well, if I can go back, I got involved in this industry through my first mentor and partner, who happens to have the same name as me. He's Mike Maloney Sr., my father, who has been, who had been helping people since 1968. He retired about 8 years ago. But speaking of the debt specifically, for the first 20 years of my career, I was like many other financial advisors and other folks that provide financial advice, where we basically largely ignored what the client was doing with regards to their own debt payoff process, simply because the people that bring us into the business, it wasn't their area of expertise either. Well, through experience, I started to really examine that most Americans, by the time they reach age 60, age 65, so many just don't have enough money to retire the way they want and how they want. And I'm going to share just a little bit of a statistic that's easy to verify and most people are not aware of. By the time age 65 rolls around, most Americans have either not made it to age 65, meaning they've passed away, or life just kept getting in the way. And by the time they rolled around to age 65, they really just didn't have enough money accumulated to produce enough interest and dividends, basically retire comfortably. So what that means is there's a boatload of Americans that are entering retirement with a little bit of savings in their Social Security. And one of the major reasons they're entering retirement with a little bit of savings is because nobody's counseled them on effective ways to handle debt payoff.
Yeah, so this sounds really interesting, really trying to understand and wrap my head around this. So I guess the next two questions are really kind of the important, like how does this process work and who qualifies to do it, Mike?
Okay. Well, the process first begins with education. So we spend 45 minutes, maybe as long as an hour and a half, showing people the details of how our current clients have used our process to pay off debt. And if you've ever done any research with regards to what's called the infinite banking process, okay, what our clients are doing to assist in this debt payoff is they're adding one more safe money institution's contract to work in conjunction with their bank accounts to run money through to pay off debt faster and have more benefits. So what our clients implement in this payoff strategy is a participating whole life contract that's stocked full of cash that not only provides other benefits contractually, but also provides a lot of money to pay debt off more efficiently than their clients currently are.
Did I hear you correctly? Did you say whole life?
Okay. And this is not an investment process. This is debt payoff. Okay. And again, it's not traditional, but this planning process isn't new. Okay. The newness has come simply from the availability of the information over social media. But the process that we're educating clients about is a century-old process. Okay? So nothing new about it. More importantly, when we're educating clients, we're making sure that they understand that what we're doing is not about consolidating, it's not about refinancing debt, and it's certainly not about investing. What it's really about is demonstrating to our clients about adding a superior financial institution's contract over their bank accounts to house money and then use it to pay off debt in many times a snowball fashion. What is beneficial for both us and our potential clients is that they're able to receive a side by side report showing them exactly how our process to pay off debt compares to what they're doing right now. What is excellent about our payoff process is it's all based on certainty. And all that means is we have steps for payoff in our report. And if our client follows the steps that is laid out for them, if our debt payoff report, for example, reads, their way of paying off debt is going to be another 27 years. However, using our process, it'll have them debt free in 8.2 years.
So who does qualify and who doesn't qualify?
Well, this is an insurance contract. So you have to be in reasonable health to qualify. That doesn't mean perfect health. That doesn't mean being on prescriptions is going to prevent you from qualifying. Heart attacks, strokes, cancers that have been very recent, and by recent, in the last 5 years, you're not going to be able to qualify for this contract. Okay. But if it's been longer than that, we have plenty of clients that have. Okay. If your height and weight is way out of balance, you're probably not going to qualify either. The most common ages of clients implementing our strategy are between the ages of 30 and 65. As people get older, let's face it, our health for some of us has begun to deteriorate and our planning process is just less attractive. I'm hoping that answers the question.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for clarifying that. So, are there any additional costs for someone to be involved with this program with you guys?
No, sir. Our education is complimentary. Of course, if they implement the insurance contract, my team and I are going to earn money for doing that. But if you think about it, if you go open up a bank account or buy a CD, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that the bank's earning money for doing that, and the bank employee assisting you, well, they benefited as well. But here's the key. Just like when you open up a bank account, you're not paying the bank any extra money for compensation for doing business with them. And in our planning process, it's the same thing. Our financial institution, which is the insurance company, pays us to implement these contracts.
This is very interesting. I'm very interested in how all this process works and not as familiar with this. But I just want to ask you, do you provide other services outside of the debt elimination program you do and the financial planning? Is there anything else you guys provide?
There are clients, as far as in the retirement arena, that have a need for more guaranteed retirement income. And that's similar to when retirees used to have a pension. Well, I think most people know. I don't want to exaggerate. So let's say 8 out of 10 retirees don't have a pension anymore, but they do have a retirement account, such as a 401k, 403b, or a TSP, that they've saved money over a number of years. And once they retire, they now have to take that pile of money and have it produce the income that they need to provide for obviously not only their needs during retirement, but the wants as well. So we handle guaranteed retirement income strategies. We have people on our team that help clients make decisions as far as managing money in both the stock and the bond market. We have people on our team that will help clients address certain tax issues. For example, selling a highly appreciated piece of real estate or a business. There are planning techniques today that people can implement to minimize the amount of money that they're sending to our government, and they're doing it using the tax code. No bending, no stretching, just using the code. But most importantly, to have those tax savings, the sale can't take place and then you get the tax savings. Planning has to be done prior to any type of transaction. Another area of planning that we address that is widely ignored, not only by most clients, but most advisors. I can best demonstrate this issue by just giving you a little bit of a scenario here. So here it is. Imagine if something bad happened to you. I don't know, you got real sick, a bad accident, Alzheimer's. Regardless, you're incapacitated and you can no longer make financial or medical decisions for yourself. Here's what I want you to think about. What documents, or what we call permission slips, are not only in effect, for example, in a binder in your home office, but these same documents are also on file with all the firms that you have money with: the bank, your retirement plan custodian, brokerage accounts, life insurance companies. What paperwork do you have filed with those firms, relieving them of liability for allowing your spouse, adult child, or another trusted family member or friend to have access to your retirement accounts, make a real estate or business transaction, or a medical decision on your behalf now that you're incapable of doing it for yourself? The scenario I just described is an estate planning scenario, and the problem with those two words is when most Americans hear them, they don't think they're old enough or have enough money to do this estate planning. When in reality, Peter, once you turn 18 years of age, if you don't have succession documents in place, appointing somebody you trust to make decisions for you when you can't, please remember, financial institutions and physicians and heck, care facilities, they don't accept instructions about you from somebody else when you're incapacitated unless you've provided paperwork giving that person permission to do so. So, Peter, because so many people ignore this topic, where the paperwork comes from are court processes. And without getting into too much detail, we all know that if there's a court process that has to take place to provide succession, we all know that an attorney needs to be involved. And when we hear an attorney needs to be involved, I'm fairly confident that nobody thinks that fees associated with these court processes are just going to be a few $100s. And I want to be clear, that's not anti-attorney. That's the attorney's job to help a family get succession when, and if I could be so bold to use a strong word, when they failed to accept their own mortality and didn't put succession documents in place prior to a problem. Kind of like wanting to get homeowners insurance when the house is on fire. It's too late. So, Peter, one of the great things we do for our clients is we provide them with education regarding estate planning. And with that education, it allows them to determine what planning documents are best for them and their families to handle their affairs when a tragedy happens.
You've provided a lot of great insights, Mike. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on here today. But certainly that's a topic we'll have to explore on another session. So how can people get involved with you, Mike? Where do they go to connect with Mike Maloney and either talk about estate planning or debt elimination or your other services? Where can they go to connect with you?
Well, we can go to our website, premieraz.net. We can also be reached via email, and my direct email is mmaloney@premieraz.net or mmaloney@twsfinancial.com. You can also feel free to call our office, 602-371-8898. And just a reminder, if you decide to reach out and have a consultation, just know we're education first, and nobody's ever under any obligation to hire us.
Well, I really do appreciate your time today, Mike. This has been great. Today's show, I just want to say, everybody, today's show was in part sponsored by Premier One, and we appreciate their services that they render to the general public. Stay tuned for more episodes as we go into the unknown. Next week, we're going to talk about, hopefully, some more of this estate planning and have conversations with Mike and others. Thank you very much, Mike.
You're welcome, Peter.